Alrighty, friends. So today during writing, you will need your weekly writing packet. This is the last day this week that you'll be using this writing packet. Show me that you have your writing packet by holding it up to the screen, looking through our pages to see who I can shout out within the first few seconds of writing. Shouting out Madison, shouting out Ariani, Abdul, Amelia, James, who else? Love the scholars who are making sure they have the material so that they can get there. I see Peyton trying to get ready. Alrighty. Also make sure, Mott, that you have 2 pencils. Show me those 2 pencils that you'll be using for writing. If I haven't already shouted you out, I'm looking for more scholars. Shouting out Darius, Noga Joan, Jaslyn, who else? Who else? Matthew. Love it. Maymore, awesome. Mott, way to get there. Beautiful. All right. I am now checking pages, friends, for bodies. We all seem very wiggly. I'm giving you 5 slow seconds to be in Scholar because today we have a pretty exciting writing day. There's a special video in store, but that can only happen if we all look great. I'm checking pages for calm bodies, for straight backs, just like Nogajan. I'm going to spotlight her just so you know exactly what I'm looking for. Checking pages. Noah, that's not a calm scholar body. Jace looks good. Felix looks great. Nicholas is glued to the screen. Abdullah looks fantastic. Jaden, your eyes are on the camera, Mishael. Wow, oh, mommy looks fantastic. Thank you for fixing it. Okay, so I'm gonna start sharing my screen. For scholars who are just joining, you have your writing packet and you have 2 pencils. Alrighty, today, friends, we are going to continue with nonfiction. Yesterday, there were quite a few scholars who I had to come back to, or I said I would come back to. Today, I'm going to make sure I actually do that. So I'll give you a heads up throughout this PowerPoint that I just have on my screen. You're going to see my questions ahead of time. However, I'm going to be cold calling, so you don't know who I'm calling on. So I'm expecting every single scholar to be ready to answer at all times. I will know if you're not following along because you aren't going to be able to answer the question unless you are. I see Jocelyn's eyes glued. She's going to be totally secure, focused, and she's going to be able to answer any question I ask her. All right, so today's text is called Plants with Traps. Flip to this page in your writing packet if you already have it. If you do not to worry, it is on the screen. Checking in 5, 4, 3, nice, way more, 2, no line, I need your eyes, 1, and Diego, you look great, 0, way to get there, Michelle, and Carolyn. Alrighty, Leanne, I need your eyes. From the top of the page, we can see that this is nonfiction. Great, I'm gonna minimize this. What is the big topic of this article? I'm gonna scroll through, and I want you to be thinking, based on what we're seeing on our little preview here, what is the biggest topic of this article? Cold calling, so I'm going to call on Owen. Owen, what do you think?
What I think is that can you repeat it?
What is the big topic of this article, Owen?
The big topic of this article is plants with trap.
Yep, pretty much the title, right? I'm thinking of plants that have traps. So under topic, right at the top, I'm gonna write plants that have traps. You're writing as I write, plants that have traps. Who can I shout out for writing along with me during this Everybody Writes? Karina, you look great. I can shout out Tierno. I can shout out Manko. I can shout out Fatu. Great. Okay, pencils are now down. We're back in Scholar in 3, 2, 1, and 0. Great, friends. Now that we have our big topic, we're going to need to think about how each section relates to that big topic. Before we start reading, I'm already noticing so many text features in this nonfiction text. I see a photograph and caption over here, and I'm seeing these little boxes in the corner. Show me a thumbs up if you are seeing these blue boxes in the corners and the size of the pages. Yeah, it seems like those boxes are giving us the definitions, Karina, of what words mean. So, for example, from looking at this first box here, I can see that dewdrops means little drops of water, and a species are the kinds or types of plants and animals. As we read, we want to keep paying attention to these text features. So I'm going to stop every few seconds and review the text features that I see. Following along with me on the screen or on your paper, let's start reading. All right. Plants with traps. Insects, beware. A fly buzzes over a tiny green plant called the sundew. The sundew plant sparkles. It seems to be covered with dewdrops, which we know means little drops of water. It smells sweet. The fly lands on the plant. Now it's in, say the word with me to your camera, trouble. The fly's feet stick to the plant. The fly tries to escape, but the little hairs of the plant bend and trap it. The fly becomes food for the sundew plant. What is the most important idea about our topic in this section, calling someone randomly? Go ahead, Secure.
The 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 can you repeat the question?
Sure. What is the most important idea about our big topic in that section, Secure?
The most important thing in the chat this um heading heading is that is about the flower hunting food but setting traps.
Yeah, what kind of food is it hunting, Secure?
It's hunting insects.
Beautiful. Way to get there. Yes. So I can also see that. Let's zoom in into this photograph by looking at all of the sticks that are pointing out of the plant. It looks like little stick things. And I can see that those things are what the plant uses to trap the insects that Victor just mentioned. This photograph shows sundew plants are usually less than 1 inch tall. So even though these plants are really short, love your focus, Noah, they're still able to hunt insects like flies. Really, really cool stuff. Let's keep reading. Alrighty. Types of insect-eating plants. The sundew is an insect-eating plant. Sometimes insect-eating plants are called carnivorous. This word means meat-eating. There are about 450 different species, which we know means types of plants or animals, of insect-eating plants. They are found on all the continents except for the frozen region of Antarctica. These plants have different colors, shapes, sizes, and smells. They come in green, read it with me, yellow, red, and even purple. Sounds enough. Alf, we're going to keep reading silently. They range in sizes from less than 1 inch to about 2 feet tall. How does this section relate to the previous section? Love the thumbs I'm seeing. I'm going to call on someone randomly. Diora, how does this section relate to the previous section?
The section relates to the previous section. The section relates to the previous sections because it's talking about how what plants do to protect themselves or I forgot what to say.
27 cases have been reported to the department. There
Yours really close. I'm going to call on a friend to help her out. It's not how plants protect themselves. Nicholas?
It's about how it's about
So Nicholas, I could tell that you were not following along. I'm going to need you to correct that so that the next time I call on you, which by the way you won't know, you're ready to answer. Darius, how does this section relate to the previous section?
This section is previous to the other section because they both talk about like the insects or the things that they eat.
Yeah.
Or like
Exactly. It also tells us about how plants with traps can come in different forms. So they have different colors, they have different smells, they have different sizes, but they all eat meat. They're all carnivorous. So that means no matter how different plants with traps can be, they all share this similar thing of them eating eating animals or insects. Great. Alrighty, I'm going to move on to page 2. Flip the page if you have the packet in front of you. If not, we're going to virtually flip with me on the screen. All right, you are looking at a page that looks like this. I see at the very top, there's another text feature. Let me zoom in on my screen so that we can take a really close look at it. Okay, the caption says, all insect-eating plants grow only in wet areas. These are floating bladderworts. Oh, so I'm already learning some really important information about floating bladderworts. What did we learn about floating bladderworts, Jazzy? Go ahead.
What we learn about them is that the insects that eat plants usually
Switch
grow
it. Plants that eat insects.
plants that eat insects usually grow in a wet area or place.
Yes, I'm really proud of Jaslyn because yesterday she had trouble looking at a text feature and understanding what it showed. But today, since she was paying such extra close attention, she was able to answer my question, giving Jaslyn some shine. We shout out friends who improve over time. Love it, Matthew. You have such strong school spirit. Alrighty, let's start reading. Following along with me on my screen or on your text in front of you. Plants with traps. These kinds of plants can't chase their prey. Stop waiting to know what prey means. I'm gonna look in this little the box on the side. It looks like an insect, but it also has words and their definitions, so it's kind of like a little glossary. It says prey is a living thing. Let me zoom in a little bit. Prey is a living thing, which is food for another living thing. Interesting. Let's keep reading now that we know what prey means. These kinds of plants can't chase their prey. Because they don't have legs or wings, their prey must come to them. Like other plants, Josiah cut it out, insect-eating plants have colors and smells that attract insects. Some of these plants also eat small animals like frogs or even mice. One example of an animal-eating plant is the bladderwort, which dines on tiny water animals. To catch their food, animal-eating and insect-eating plants have traps. Some are moving traps and some are still traps. I'm seeing that not all the traps are the same. Let's look at how those two types of traps are different. Moving traps have parts that clamp, and clamp means to close shut, according to our little glossary here. Swing open or close. Sundew plants have moving traps like bladderworts and Venus flytraps. Show me too if you've ever heard of a Venus flytrap. Owen's heard of one. Christian's heard of one. Awesome. Let's keep reading. Thinking about how a moving trap, thank you, is different from a still trap. Still traps don't move. Instead, the plants ooze sticky glue or slippery goop. Pitcher plants have still traps. Okay, why did the author include this section? Looking to call on someone randomly. Go ahead, Kaya. Why did the author include this section, Kyer?
The author included this section because he wanted to tell us that a lot of animals they they all have different type of traps.
Kyer, I'm going to stop you because I saw so many friends disagreeing with you when you said animals. Friends, what is the big topic of this text? It's not animals. Noah, what is it? Noah?
It's about plants.
This whole text, Kyer, is about plants. So, Kyer, I'm coming right back to you because I need you to revise that like right now. Kyer, why did the author include this section?
The author included in this section. He included this section because he wanted to tell us that plants have a lot of different traps.
Yes, great. Thank you so much. Show me on your fingers how many types of traps plants can have. Beautiful, Noah. Josiah, I need you to participate immediately. JL, same thing. Thank you, Nogajon. Juan, same thing. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Alex. And thank you, Abdul. Alrighty, let's keep reading. Shout out to the friends who have had their eyes glued on the screen this entire time and have actively been participating. Those are the friends who are going to have no issues when I call on them with a surprise. Alrighty, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so that we can see this whole page. All right, it says a moving trap. The Venus flytrap is the most well-known of all insect-eating plants, while flowers grow on it in the spring. White flowers grow on it in the spring, but the plant's leaves are its traps. Each leaf is shaped like a clamshell. Along the curved edge are stiff bristles. Touching the bristles inside the trap causes the two sides of the leaf to snap shut. Juices flow from the leaf. These juices break down the insect's body for the plant to use as food. I was just scanning through the pages to look for reactions from scholars who were really interested. I saw Sally make some expression with her face because she was like, whoa, I never knew that. I saw Brandon Martin doing this same exact thing. Great. Our last section of this text is called a still trap. The pitcher plant is shaped like a thin jug. The inside walls of this plant have slippery hairs or waxy goop. Insects lose their footing and slip down, read it with me, down. Some pitcher plants have water in the bottom. The insects drown. Other pitcher plants make juices to kill their prey. At the bottom here, we see a diagram. I'm going to scroll so we can all look at this diagram really closely. First, I'm seeing that bristles are stiff hairs. And this diagram has numbers in it, which makes me believe that there are steps that I need to think about. So under number 1, we're seeing that it says open clamshell leaf with bristles. And I'm seeing the plant opening itself up. And it gives me the idea that the plant is setting up its trap. For step 2, which is right here, we see that it says an insect lands and sets off the trap. And I can see that insect with the creepy antenna landing into that plant's trap. JL, your eyes are glued. You look fantastic. And Felix, like down for step 3, I'm seeing the plant has closed Felix's legs, its trap. And it says the insect is trapped inside the Venus flytrap. So with those 3 simple steps, it seems like a plant is able to catch, trap, and eat its prey. Alrighty. I have a question for someone randomly. First, let me state my question. Madison is ready, of course. How does this diagram support or add to the information we already learned in the text? Looking for someone I have not heard from. Umar, go ahead.
The diagram, it shows that the diagram shows that because it it shows that the plants are catching their prey, and it
Okay, good answer. How does that relate to what we know about the kinds of traps that plants have? Juan?
Bro. How you gonna call on? Oh my god, bro.
Juan, it's your fault for not being ready. Moving on to someone who is more ready. Juan, I'm going to call you again, so be forewarned. January?
The,
My question in case you didn't know it. How does this relate to what we know about moving traps and still traps, January?
this relate to them because it helps us understand about one of the plants that move and eat insects.
Yes, absolutely. What kind of
And
trap
the-
do you think this?
and
Go
and
ahead,
it puts a picture in their mind.
it sure
Puts
does.
a picture.
January is absolutely right. I'm looking for a scholar to tell me what kind of trap the Venus flytrap uses. Thinking about what you know about moving traps and still traps. I'm going to zoom back out in case you need a little reminder. What kind of trap does a Venus flytrap use? Am I muted? Go ahead, Fatu. Sorry, I was muted.
Wait, what was the question? Because I forgot.
What kind of trap do you think the Venus flytrap uses?
I think he uses the moving trap because usually the moving trap
Mm-hmm.
usually closes open when an insect goes in, and that's what the Venus flytrap does.
Beautiful. I can literally go right back to the text where it says, along the curved edges are stiff bristles. And I can see that in this diagram, the Venus flytrap has bristles. And Fatu's right, they snap shut. And right here in step 3, show me with your hands, we see the Venus flytrap snapping shut. Great. So although the author didn't tell us what kind of trap the Venus flytrap has, we're able to use our strong reading skills to figure that out on our own, which is super great. All right, we're gonna move on to the next slide. Shout out to the friends who have been ready the entire time. They haven't been upset when I've called on them because they've been ready for it. All right, friends, we are now at the end of our text. I'm going to set this timer right here for 3 minutes. And in those 3 minutes, you are going to write your main idea chap. Pencils up before I set the timer. Checking every single scholar's camera in 3. Evilise, especially you, 2, 1, Owen, and Secure, and Josiah, 0. Your pencil is up in the camera. Great. Awesome. Christian, I need to see your pencil. Thank you, Diego. Alrighty. Go ahead and start. I'm putting the timer up and setting it. Oops. Timer has started. No, it hasn't. Now it has. Mohammed, we're writing the entire time. Mott has been on top of his game all day. So has Mariam. Carolyn, we're writing the entire time. So has Darius, Nicholas. So Caroline, I will not say this again. You're not putting chapstick on. You're writing the entire time. All right, we are under 2 minutes. Shout out to Sarah for going back into the text. Love it. Michael Kusi, I would love to see you writing the entire time.
Ms. Balwan asked if we could put the question up.
The question? It's a main idea.
Okay, that's what I thought. So 1, you're writing a main idea. This is now the second time you've got caught not listening.
Roisin looks very hard at work. Love it. Dashley, same thing. Sarai, same thing. Brayden, stop worrying about the camera and start writing. We are under a minute. You will see that the timer has changed color to get you to be more urgent. Felix, did you finish writing your entire main idea jot? About 25 more seconds. Ariane's using every single second, thinking about how she can make her idea stronger. Evelise is doing the same. About 10 more seconds. Alrighty, so time is up. Pencils are down, checking every single scholar's camera, starting with the very last page because the very last page seems to contain scholars who don't often get checked. So I'm gonna make sure I check them now. Great, thank you so much, Isabella, for being super trustworthy and putting your pencil down. Next page, great. Isabella's even folding her hands. Lariani, Amelia's great. Beautiful, everyone on that page has their pencils down. Mohammed, way to fix it. You look great now. Awesome, Fatu. Alrighty. So shout out to all of 3rd grade for putting their pencils down, with the exception of Josiah, who is the only scholar on camera who did not follow the directions. Josiah, 2 seconds to get there. Thank you so much. Okay. So calling on someone to share their main idea with us. Let's start with the mostly teaching. Calling someone at random. Shout out to friends who are still putting their thumbs up in hopes that I call on them. Let's see, who have we not heard from in a long time? Leanne, go ahead and share your mostly teaching with us, please. Okay, seems like Leanne's sound is not working. Coming over to Jordan, go ahead.
The main idea is that
What was the author mostly teaching us in this text?
what the author was mostly teaching us is that that the plants with traps use their bristles to clamp the bugs to eat them.
Jordan, did you write this down on paper?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. Okay, who can add on? Go ahead, David.
I would like to add on to Jordan by saying that my main idea was some plant traps are unique and they have special ways of capturing their prey, and some plants catch the prey by moving traps or still traps.
Oh, yeah, great. I definitely believe that adding on was necessary because we wanted to make sure we included Nathaniel important ideas that we learned in the text. So I'm going to now reveal mine to you. My mostly teaching statement was that plants with traps live all around the world and they have different colors and sizes. Also, plants with traps all eat insects, so that's how they're all the same. They use either moving or still traps. You must have included that they could use either moving or still traps. I also added that these traps allow the plants to catch prey since they can't move. If plants were able to move, would they need traps? Show me silently. Looking to shout out scholars who evaluated as soon as I asked. Would plants need traps if they could move? Shout out to Umar, Aliyah, Brandon Martin, Mariam. No, they wouldn't, right? So the reason why we must include the fact that the traps are helpful for them is a really big idea that we all need to make sure we have. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds to go back and add that into your main idea statement if you didn't already. Shout out to Jordan who's adding it in. Dash is revising. The best scholars always revise and make their ideas stronger, Almami. Thank you, Maymore. 4 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and 0. Great. And then I actually want to point something out. So while some friends were sharing, eyes are here, Ariani. While some friends were sharing, I heard some opinion words in our mostly teaching. I want us to be really, really careful about doing that because point of view words are, opinion words belong in our point of view section. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Here is my point of view. I'm going to scroll down and show it to you. Oops, that's our video. I said that plants with traps are interesting and sneaky. Those are my opinion words. They belong in my point of view. Follow along with your at home behind your camera. Opinion words belong in our point of view. Great. My opinion was that plants with traps are interesting and they're also sneaky because they wait for their food to come to them before trapping them. The whole concept of trapping something is really, really sneaky, which Sakira was talking about earlier. So I wanted to make sure that I understand that whenever I am answering any questions about this text. Great. Alrighty, folded hands, checking for scholar in 3, 2, 1. The video is next, so I need to be dazzled by this. Every single person needs to be looking fantastic for us to be able to watch this video. 3, thank you, Theranos. 2, Mohammed. 1, Zoe Stanley, quit it with the backgrounds. And 0, checking. Chase looks great, his eyes are glued, Nicholas. Joel looks perfect. Awesome. Leanne, calm, buddy. All right. Mommy, it could easily be a call home. I can't count how many times I've looked at you and you were not sitting in Scholar calmly. Alrighty. So friends, here is a video of one of the plants we learned about earlier. It's actually, I forget the name of it. Let's see. It's gonna come up on the video, I hope.
Venus flytrap?
Oh, it's a sundew. There we go. So it's really cool because I have actually never seen this video before looking for it for this class. So I'm really, really excited. In this video, you'll see how the sundew plant closes its trap to trap its food. All right, let's do it. So there's the insect that's landed on the plant. And then slowly, the plant is closing its trap. Whoa. I can see the insect really, really trying to get out, but it can't. It is so, so trapped in there. Really cool stuff. Alrighty. So I'm gonna exit this. Since we only have a few minutes, I'm going to model how we answer short response questions. So The question that we're answering together is, how are moving traps and still traps different? Keyword different. Use 2 details from the text to support your response. All right, first I need to figure out where or which sections in the text we should go back to. Where should we go back to and why? Alex?
We should go back to section again.
Let me clarify. Which section of the text should we go back to answer this question?
We should go back to plants with traps.
Yeah, we should go back to the sections that talk about the traps, right? Great. Here's the section right here. We're here. We need to think about how they are different. So I'm going to go through this section. Okay, I'm seeing that a moving fly trap has bristles and that it snaps shut. But a still trap is shaped like a jug. It doesn't have bristles. And it allows the insects to lose their footing and slip down, down, down. So my idea about how they are different has to do with, sorry, that's the wrong question. It has to do with the way that they are shaped. So shapes. And also, I just lost my train of thought. The way that they're shaped, and also the fact that instead of one of them snaps and the other one slides the insect down. So my second idea is how they eat the insect. Now, this is just the draft, so it's okay that I use this little question word, how. I'm not going to write that in my actual topic sentence, but it's just the draft, so I have an idea of what my topic sentence should look like. Insect. Okay. Now, over here, I've already flipped the question, which I know is something that we are already working on as a group. I said moving traps and still traps are different because now I'm going to show how I use my draft to come up with a full topic sentence. Shout out to Ariani's eyes, which have been glued the entire time, so have Diego's. Okay, so they're different because they come in different shapes. Oops. And they digest insects differently. That gets at my idea that they have different shapes, and it also gets at the idea that the way that they allow the insect to be swallowed or digested is different. Great. Now I can go back and cite my evidence, which, by the way, I could have said, pitcher plant is shaped like a thin bug. My second piece of evidence could have had to do with how they swallow the insect. So I could have said, touching the bristles inside the trap causes the 2 sides of the leaf to snap shut. Those would have been my 2 pieces of evidence. But I need to make sure that my explanation includes the word because and also the idea that I have about the traps. So I'm going to skip the evidence for now because I've already just shared it with you. But my explanation would be, this shows that moving and still traps are different because they affect how insects are digested. I'm including my idea about how insects are digested, but I also am making sure that I tie in part of the question. This explanation is a 10 out of 10 because it restates my the question that I'm answering, but it also includes my idea using the word because in the middle. So we're going to continue working on explanations the next time we are in writing, which will be on Monday. We always make sure we use the word because. We always make sure that we include our idea. Give yourself a kiss on the brain. No, not a single person wrote on any of our slides. Love to see such trustworthy activity. Love the friends who got super shout outs during this block. For friends who didn't, I'm counting on you to get shout out during Read Aloud with Miss Ware.